one of the requirements for this program is that you make some sort of extra function that does something besides just rooms, just to kind of get a little bit better grasp on functions and how they might work. So let me give you a couple examples of how you might want to do that. The easiest thing you could do is to add a help function. Always a good idea in a game to kind of explain to the user what's going on. So I, of course, didn't actually write anything helpful, but you could. You might even just list, here are all the, verbs that I understand, and then when you say use the words get to pick something up, or use the words pick up to pick something up, or use the word take. Maybe you want to say I'm only going to do one of those and I'm going to put it in the help function. If you do that, if you put things in the help function and then you say, okay, I'm not going to allow people to type them in other places, I'd be fine with that. If you don't have a help function, then you better think of just about every way you possibly can in order to make sure that they don't get frustrated. Um, so how does this work? Well, we have a function now. It's called help. What you're going to do is you're going to go back, and this is the big long example I've been using that involves a kitchen. And you're going to go to your actions. I would probably suggest going down to your like almost your last action, the one that's just you. I don't understand anything else, and I'm going to add action equals help. And what am I going to do for this? I am just going to say help because that's the name of the function I made. And I am going to also, because you always have to, every time you have an action, you have to return something. They didn't leave the room, they just got help inside the room, so they should go back to the room, the kitchen, so they can do it again, right? So I'm going to run that. And so we're standing in the kitchen, and I get all worried. I don't know what to do. Like I tried to type hike east, and it didn't work, and I don't understand why not. So I better type in the help key. Oh, to use the cardinal directions with no verb. Okay. So then I come and maybe I noticed, I said maybe put some blank space so that they can see where they are quickly. Oh, okay. So I should just go east and then I can do it and I get in the study, right? So that works. Um, so that's a help key. Now maybe there's some other things you want to do. My favorite extra function is what we would call the inventory. So maybe I create something called inventory. And what you're going to do is you're going to make a list of all the global variables that you have. So for me, so far, I have silver key. Well, I don't mean every global variable. I mean the ones you can actually pick up and use. So that's the only one I have right now. Imagine I had like a bunch of them. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say print. I guess I'm just going to capitalize this. And um, then I don't know if I should print. Like I can't just say you have the silver key because I don't know if they have the silver key or not. So we're going to throw a little if in there. If silver key, print silver key. So if I've picked it up, it'll say it. Now a little hint, this is the only thing that this if statement is going to do, this silver key if statement. So I can actually shorten this. If there's only one line, you don't have to do an indent. You could just put it like that. So if the silver key, print silver key. And then like that works as one line of code. That, by the way, is what I'm doing down here as well. If it's room one, then they've gone to room one. And since it's just one single thing that I know there's only one I'm ever going to do, I can just do it that way. I don't have to return anything on my inventory. I don't have to return anything on my help because I'm not making anything equal some number coming out of the inventory. This is not saying up there where it's going to ask for help. It doesn't say, room equals help or anything. It just says help. So you don't have to return anything in those cases. So I'm going to add this action to my room. And yes, if you have 10 rooms, then you get to go through and like copy and paste this into every single one of them. That's not that bad, really. So maybe they can type the I key. Maybe on this one I should have let them type the H key, right? That's for, your hardcore users who are so into your game that they start learning the shortcuts. So then I'm going to hit the inventory. And again, I didn't, when I say hit, of course I mean call the function called inventory. I didn't move out of the room, so I should still return 1. As soon as I forget my return on an if statement, my program freezes up when I try to do it. So try to get in that habit. Now, I've actually not even run any of this, so to see, okay, there's a refrigerator, an oven, and so I want to, of course, open the oven because I remember that I die if I do that. See, you are dead, play again sometime. So that was my death room, and that wasn't any fun because I have to restart it if that happens. I could open the refrigerator, and nothing happens because it just says yuck. Um, and then I can, well, watch this. I want to get the key because I know there's a key in the cabinet. You see no key here. Why? Oh, because I have to open the cabinet first. The cabinet is empty except for a silver key. You take it. Of course, I didn't ever change that, right? Because I actually didn't take it. So now I have to type in take key. I never updated my output for that. You take the key. Now I type in inventory. Inventory list silver key. If I had run this at the beginning and I said inventory, I would have gotten, of course, nothing, right? It just would have said inventory list. So I say I for inventory, inventory list, but nothing. It'd be interesting to come up with a little program that if you have none of them, then it will print, none, just to say I don't have anything. But that would actually be a little bit difficult because each one works individually, so it's not worth trying to do that. All right, so there is making a couple cool functions. And there's other ones too. You can go as crazy as you want. There's lots of ideas for functions. Some people have made entire battle simulation kind of functions where you fight and you have health and that kind of stuff. So um, you can go to town on that. But I especially recommend those two.